for us, our work in evolving with the land, and because that's what we are, we as human beings, we are the land. And so a lot of my work is about helping people to remember what it means to be a human.
Oh,
And so can everybody see this screen? Can you see this? Okay, so at the center of our work is Ode. Okay, can you say that? I know I can't hear you, but can you try and say Ode?
oh day.
Ode, 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 Ode. Hopefully, by me repeating it, you start to get a sense of what that word is all about. It's not just the heart, because English does very little to describe. And how it was taught to me by one of my teachers, Randy Trudeau, was that Ode actually means a pump or a muscle, something that is in constant motion. And what's really interesting about this is that from the first point of conception, that is what forms, is that place. And from there, everything starts to take shape. And for us, Ode is so important because it's what is pumping sacred water throughout the body. And we have a song, and it's like Nibe wabo endaya akimeskwe nibe wabo. And I'm not gonna sing the whole song just in this moment because I just don't feel like it. But uh, what that word means, midday wabo, is the sacred water that we hold up. It's the sacred water that the women have in their bodies, and they're the only ones that have that. And that sacred water is held by the women in their ceremony. It's part of like a very particular way of doing ceremony for us. And actually, you had mentioned it first. Asema, the tobacco, is first because we were lowered into a tobacco field. We pollinated it. That's part of our creation story. And so then the water is held up, it's prayed over, and then it becomes medicine. And then we drink that water to be filled with the spirit of those prayers. So Ode is not just heart. It's the sacred water throughout the body that's the same as the water of the earth. Medewa bo, that sacred water, endaya, we are the same. Aki miskwi, earth, blood. The water, that sacred water that we hold up, is the same as the blood in our veins. Now imagine that is the first teaching you receive as a child, that all water is sacred, and that you are water, and that from this place, that water is transmitting through your entire body. And so there's several words for water. Bish is just the one I'm going to use at this time because it connects with what I'm about to say. But nibe is probably a more accurate word for water. But there's also with each beat of the heart an electricity, wasmuin. And so for the women in here, how many of you are just like your mother? And for the women in this room, how many of you are just like your mother but unwilling to admit it? Okay. I ask that question often, and half the room, when I say, "Are you just like your mom?" and half the women put up their hands, and then they're all smiling. And then when I say, "How many of you are just like your mothers but unwilling to admit it?" Then the other half of the room puts up their hands. So it's kind of funny. But what's amazing about our journey as humans is that That's what we get to hear for the first 9 months of our development. Ode, Ode. We hear our mother's heartbeat. And for the all the people in this room, at just 4 months developed, your mother in your grandmother's womb had all the eggs that she would carry for the rest of her life. And so essentially, we are a reflection of our grandmother's heartbeat. These are our teachings as Anishinaabe. These are what we teach the young ones and the old ones alike, and we tell these stories over and over. But more than just the water, Ode connects to the fire. This is your fire, your sacred fire, the place from which you get to choose how you will, you get to choose what trail you will leave on this earth. And we are taught to leave a soft trail and to ensure that the trail we leave is one that the future generations can follow to the places of harvest. And so the connection between the fire and the water is the strength. Ish, bish, ish, ishkode. Strength, it's not strength like flexing in a mirror, like I'm sure a few of us are guilty of every once in a while. But it's the strength of the movement of your body that is based on a set of teachings that is passed down to from your ancestors, and for us passed down for 1,000 generations. For us, the drum, Ode Wagon, it's the one that we use to remember the place where we come from. We come from the womb of our mothers. We are born through the flood of her waters. Okay. We remember that Odena or Odenang, the place where the people's hearts gather. Our entire civilization was ordered around nurturing the hearts of others. And how do we nurture the hearts of others? We give them clean water. We give them all those beautiful fruits and vegetables and all those beautiful harvests that are just right there, right outside, if only we take a moment to listen. And that brings us to Odemin, the word that Yasmin was talking about. This is the strawberry. And of course, right now we are heading towards the strawberry moon. So for us, our orientation as Anishinaabe, as human beings, is not to the Gregorian calendar and to next tomorrow's June 17th or whatever. We're orientated to the solstices and the equinoxes. We're orientated to the moon cycles. We're orientated to the sun cycles. And we had advanced calendars that measured exactly when these important dates occurred. Okay, so that for us is truth. And truth, Ode Bwewin, okay, is not about the words you speak. It's about the actions that you take. Ode Bwewin. Bwewin is like, it's the movement of your body on this planet. Okay, so anyways, that's a little bit about our teachings as Anishinaabe, but connecting us and reminding us what it means essentially to be a human being.